Welcome back to the channel. How are you all doing out there? I am pumped up to be able to bring this to you live, hang out with you. I haven't done video. I didn't do a video. Shoot, I think it's been 3 days. And on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday. We will be coming in strong though this week, and don't you worry, we'll be back on track. It's been a hell of a week for me. Good week though. Good week. But real life, dude, kicking my ass up and down the street. But I am still here. You saw the title right. Hopefully you saw the correct thumbnail. It took me a few minutes to go back and change that, get that correct. There looks like a massive war map update. And I did take a quick peek because, like we all do, we're all like, okay, but what are the rewards? Okay, now I'll go back and read the rest. It looks like a large rewards update. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. I see a lot of people in the chat, and I know a lot of really great war players, a lot of people who really enjoy war. I've been actively talking about going back to tier 1, and there was a part of it that made me a little more excited, and a little part of it that made me be like, that might not be for me. So we'll see. Got to get my hat right. But first, we will be opening up some 7-star crystals. Last you saw me, we're not going to be doing this one. Last you saw me, I was finishing up my Karina's challenges. I said I would do everything I could to stream live the Deathless run, and it was my full intention. Like I said, I had a hell of a week here, and it was good. It was family stuff and work stuff, and I realized there's just no way in heck I'm going to be able to live stream that. I'm very surprised I'm even live streaming today, to be honest, but I've said I want to do Fridays, and so I just took every little bit I could, and I kind of piecemeal it together. People in my Discord obviously got updates. I was sharing screenshots and things like that in the members chat, but also just in Discord in general. I did select Maestro, and I put all of my Deathless 6 stones into Thanos, but I saved all the crystals, and I will open those with you live here, and then I'll probably throw them into the Battlegrounds reward video or something like that. So we'll be doing that. Quickly say hello to, what's up, Ice Sweet? OG Highline, what's up, man? P-Dubs, how you doing, bud? Dean, happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. What's up, Bri? How you doing, man? I want to get your thoughts on the war map here as soon as we cover it. What's up, Brian? MCoC Encyclopedia, dude, definitely want to hear you and your alliance thoughts on the map too here in a few minutes. What's up, Brennan? Sumil, yeah, new war map, dude. That's it's on the, well, it better be either that or I got a hell of a leak for y'all. Also, the champions for the rest of the year are all right. We said hi to Brendan too, I believe. We're gonna let people trickle in, but I am gonna be starting off. Actually, let's see what this is first. What is this? It's Magicka chain offer. Okay. Last year, Mystic and Mutant teamed up to face cosmic and skillful challenges, blah, 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 blah. For every offer link in the chain you acquire, you'll gain access to the next offer. I always like how they make that sound exciting. For every little bit you spend, you'll get to spend more! Exclamation point, exclamation point. This, I feel like they don't do offers like this. It was a long time ago, and there was a term for them. But, it was it's almost like how sales are now. You have to go back years, probably 4 or 5, 6 years. And the offer at the end was ultimately the one you really wanted, right? And so it's funny, I haven't thought about those in forever. Those have become Thronebreaker by complete, okay, blah, 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 GGG, yada, yada. Will gain access to X Magic themed Paragon crystals, 7-star 6 zones. Ooh, I am interested in that. As well as 7-star hero crystal shards and Titan shards. Okay, wait, this is the sale, right? Are they aware they're having a sale in just a week? Do they know that? Kabam. Okay, this is weird, dude. There's a store for this? Please tell me there's not a store. This is weird. It's like bootleg cyber. Yeah, wait, what is this? Did they mean to do this? Oh, and you can. I like how it says free. That shit ain't free. If it was free, I'd be able to click it and get it. That that is not what free means. That is, I will exchange money and then you'll give this to me free. All right, you know what? We've got a lot to cover. We're gonna. Oh, Kavan, I love these guys, man. I mean, sales is hard, dude. Sales is hard. This does appear to actually be free. It literally says free. Like this, is this a trick? The first two are free paragons. Okay. And I trust MCoC Encyclopedia. Yo, Vega, my fourth MCoC YouTuber with the name that starts with a V. Dude, I will take it. Are you kidding me? That means not only am I top 10, I'm top 5, man. Woo! All right. That is damn good. That is damn good. I will take that. And honestly, V names are kind of where it's at, dude. I don't know if you've noticed this. It's a thing. All right, so we got our free things. My units didn't actually go down. All right, we've got a crap ton to cover today. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna record this a bit like it was a standalone video because it is gonna go into a video. And we're gonna open up a bunch of crystals. Then we will come back and cover the sale before the sale. And then we'll do war map. Actually, I'll let you all decide. You all tell me here. We'll do a poll so you guys can be like war map or sale before the sale. All right, so y'all vote and decide. MCoC Encyclopedia, thank you, dude. I think I will probably join a call on the Discord server after the crystal opening. I just want, you know me, I like to say dumb things and have fun. So I'm going to record the crystal opening here, say a bunch of dumb stuff, hopefully pull cool things too. And then I'll join a call with smart people like you and still say dumb, funny stuff. Hopefully it's funny. I laugh. All right. Here we go. We've got a lot of crystals to open. We are doing this live on stream, but I'm recording it as I would any other opening. This is usually the stuff I edit out. I'm going to treat these like warm-up crystals. Let's just pop them. Let's get all the bad luck out of the way. There we go. We did it. Now, I can't guarantee that's all the bad luck. I would like a guarantee of sorts that was literally all the bad luck. But it definitely wasn't good luck, and it is now out of the way. You can see we have quite a few of these. Are from finishing off the Deathless run. I did choose to awaken my Maestro, and all the 6 stones went into Thanos. He's sitting at like 183 or something like that because I started the Deathless Saga Incursions, Deathless, not Deathless run, but actually Deathless. Those of you who went through the whole 6 stone drama know what I'm talking about there. All right. Let's go. Let's awaken champions that we want to awaken. Let's get signature levels on champions. We want signature levels on. Oh, the cool song kicked in too. I like this song the best. Yes, I am making notes. Here we go. Come on. Let's get champions that we want to take to rank 4. Oh, Serpent would be great. That's not going to be Serpent though. It is obviously going to be Ironheart, who has captured the fancy of the battle realm. Like, talk about a comeback story with this champion, right? When she first came out, everyone's like, dude, she sucks. She could not do battlegrounds fights in 45 seconds. And as more and more PvE content has come out, people are like, dude, she's amazing. I have a feeling that somewhere in between. I don't think she sucks. I also don't think she's amazing. All right, but that's not bad. I ain't upset about it. But that's definitely not who I pictured when I said I wanted sig levels on champions I would take to rank 4. Okay. All right, let's go. It's getting better. It has gone from crappy to not bad. In fact, there's a lot of people who will probably be very excited about that. Probably be incredibly pumped up on that pool. I am just not one of them. Come on, man. Come on. Warlock, yeah, hey, that's an awakening. That's actually really cool. I have no idea what it does though, but I'm very excited about what I don't know. I think it makes him a better defender, if I recall correctly. Dude, like, can reach insane highs. He really is awesome. I'm very pumped up on that. Really, I like that, like, those champions are now in the basic pool because they are actually good, as opposed to the crappy champions that I've been pulling lately with that. So that's really exciting. I forgot that I had a chance to do that. Okay, cool. And now, not to be overly picky, but if we could awaken our Punisher 2099, I wouldn't be upset. And you don't want me upset, Kabam. Come on, we know that. You don't like it when I'm upset. I don't like it when I'm upset. You don't like it. No one likes it. Campo loves his champion. He's an insanely smart player. He referenced her on his own personal kind of thoughts for first champion to rank 4. She is really, really good. I'm not going to give any more. One little tiny thing, he did mention her, not just because he really enjoys playing her, and what he said about her made a lot of sense. He's an awesome guy, incredibly smart on this game. If you haven't checked out that video or his channel, I highly recommend you do. And I think that's it. Before I put this into a standalone video, I will try to get either one more 7-star crystal or enough Titan shards for a Titan, but that'll be it. Hopefully your luck is even better than mine. Take care. All right, I had to make sure I hit the stop recording, not stop streaming. That would have been ridiculous. Jay, well, what's up, dude? I really am pumped up on the Adam Warlock one. I saw one of you put in there, and I appreciate it, saying, was it the healing? It gives you the heal? I'm pretty sure I don't know if I would take him to rank 4. If I pulled Cosmic. I wasn't considering him because he was not awakened, and I forgot that he was in the basic crystal now. When after you say spot game, yeah, you're right. It's the healing. I mean, it is nice, but that's not. I think you really want that sig to go up. I don't know exactly what it scales to. He's so good unawakened. I don't play him as much as I thought I was going to, though. And a lot of the Cosmic class has caught my fancy as of late. You all know about Vox and how much I enjoy Vox. And then I was on Medusa's buff like back in October. So yeah. All right, I'll catch up on the chat for a minute, and then I'll see what's winning the poll. It looks like it's the war map right now, and then we'll check out the sale before the sale. True underdog story, Ironheart coming out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, really, like, that was it. I remember I was relatively high on her, because I was like, dude, she can do all these things. She has, like, she's not shifting immune, she has shifting damage sources. She's relatively simple to play. Her utilities seem good. Her damage even felt fine to me. I didn't see myself using her in Battlegrounds. And I'm not just patting myself on the back, although I am a little bit, because if you won't pat yourself on the back, ain't no one else going to. And it's cool to see people really excited about her. In fact, I think Campo had her as his #1 tech champion in the whole game. I think that was a bit much, but he really focuses on story content. And so I could see that coming in. You know, he really wasn't including Battlegrounds in that analysis at all. 4 days from Dazzler, free to play. Nice, P-dubs. Dude, that's awesome. Smeel, Sassy rank 4. Imagine a rank 4 6-200 Serpent. I know, dude. We can all imagine. Insta-ban for me in Battlegrounds. Saving service now, so I'm living through you. Thanks, Rye. I appreciate that, man. I hope it went well for you. You won't like it when Vader gets sounds getting real. Ain't no one like it when I'm angry, Stink. We've all seen it. It ain't fun. Brian, help! These champs need to go to R2. Oh, I thought it was like they need to go. Like, you're like, I need to get rid of them to R2. Please help with the order. Dupes. Maestro, North Star Guardian, Undupe, Bullseye, Jack, Sable. What is your, what are your favorite modes, dude? Because I see the, if it's BGs, I'd be going Guardian, Bullseye, or Jack. Under my son, especially with the power loss immunity. Absolutely, Sneak. All right, I'm going to join that call. It looks like people, not by a huge margin, but by a margin, do want to talk about the new war map. Hopefully, MCoC Encyclopedia is still up for joining. If not, no big deal. we will get through this together. And we're going to bring up the new war map. Now, I don't believe we're going to do like a detailed dissection of every single node. And they did definitely update the nodes quite a bit here. If anyone has like a specific question, we can take a look at it. MCoC Encyclopedia, are you there, bud?
Testing. We good?
What's up, dude? We are more than good. We are great. How are you?
Wonderful. Well, you know, it's Friday evening here in the UK, so I am tired from a week at work, but we move on.
Yeah, we do. We, what's the saying? We keep calm and carry on, right? Is that the idea?
Something like that.
Something like that? All right, so for those of you who don't know, MCoC Encyclopedia, your Alliance won War Season last season, right?
Last season, yes. We're probably going to come top 5, but not top 2 this season, depending on how the next few wars go.
Oh, you're not in the top 2?
No, we had a 0-0 draw against Noon, which just kind of, we lost that on time, so that was the end of that.
All right, I now seriously question your credibility to comment on this post, but you're all we got, so I say we go for it. Yeah. You know how we are about things around here. What's up, Adam? How you doing, bud? Cypher full screen? All right, dude. All right. Man, they are high maintenance today. This is a high maintenance group. They want full screen. Although, you know what? Actually, I appreciate you saying it, because if we are on mobile, pretty hard to read. And let me know, guys, is the music a little loud? I want to make sure you can hear myself, and I also want to make sure you can hear Encyclopedia. I can hear him pretty well, but it doesn't mean you all can. Encyclopedia, can you say some smart things real quick so the folks can hear you?
Smart things?
Yeah.
No, that's pushing it.
Okay.
But I can just sort of talk inanely for a bit if that's helpful.
That was perfect. All right. So I'll go ahead and just read the quick intro here, and then we'll move through it. Hey, do you need me to share my screen, bud? Or are you...
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Actually, turn off the music while we're chatting. So hey all, and welcome to another channel log for Season 56 Alliance War. There are major changes. And what I could tell, these changes do actually look major. Coming into Alliance War, this is one of the larger updates that we've pulled off, and there's a lot to go through, such as a large redefinition of paths on the war map, as well as reward updates that will excite in-game players with a large source of Tier 7 basic catalysts to your Rank 4 needs. Instead of pushing everyone into the forward, let's get to the nuts and bolts of this change. So, and this change is not, this isn't like for a couple months now. This is like, I mean, as you can see, the current season's ending, what, in 5 days?
Yeah, and then we've got a really nice long off season to test out all of this stuff.
Oh, geez, I didn't catch on to that. So I truly did jump straight to the reward section. That is a nice long off season. And the idea is, because of the extended off season we have, we're adding a treat for everyone engaged in off season. In the following tiers, players will receive the following on a per war reward basis. Valiant. Okay, so I mean that's cool. That's interesting. But if I understood you correctly, it sounded like your first immediate thought was like, hey, we get to test stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. We've got a whole new map to go through. It's going to be great.
Do you feel like it is a whole new map?
Yes and no. I've got as far as path 8. We're doing well here in my sort of analysis, but it's very difficult to me anyway to always understand how a map's going to fit together when you just see it on a piece of paper. It's so much nicer when we get into that first off-season war. We can start clicking on things. We can start looking, here's how path 1 looks all together. What are the standard counters going to be, and so on. Like, there are a lot of... I think Kabam has dug into some data and said, basically every war, this champion is placed in this spot, and this counter is used for them. How can we make that counter not be as viable?
So on its face, as far as an idea, I actually really like that. One of the things with war, and for those who don't know, I used to be in Tier 1 for quite a long time. It's been a while since I've left. But one of the things that happened is like, I recall actively talking about how I'm like, and I have another fight with Spider-Man 99 against, what's the big guy with the horns and he unblockable special too? MCoC. And like it got to the point where I was like, oh my god, I messed up because I'm so bored of this fight. And so as a general concept, I like that. The other thing that's happened is, I didn't do a new champion review for Zola, but I had been consistently doing them for a bit, and both Okoye and Gentle. I know I said it in Okoye's video, and I don't know if I did in Gentle's. I recalled saying, I was like, this is a champion that if what they're doing gets asked for more, will become significantly more valuable. Like Okoye has like that whole, her combo goes high fast. If I recall correctly, she has like an 8-hit combo or something.
Yeah, 2 combo hits on the light, 1 on the medium, but she also has double lights, so it's like 10 combos per combo or something. Yeah,
and it was cool, and it fit into her kit well. But I'm curious to see if we see no changes that. I don't know. I'm curious about them in particular. Anyways, okay, so let's continue to move through. The list of buffs and paths is long. Okay. Reward update, because I don't think I was alone in jumping to this first. That's a lot of tier 7 basic shards. So Masters...
That's a full one.
Is it really?
That's a full tier 7. Shouldn't there be fragments, not shards? Not important.
Yeah, that's never been Kabam's strong suit, so... yeah, even if you're correct, that's never been their strong suit. A 7-star hero crystal, okay. 228,000 tier 4?
So I think that's 4.
$25,000 Titan shards. Okay, so you are handsomely rewarded but honestly, if you win,
I was gonna say that's first place.
Yeah. It's actually not that big of a drop off from 1 to 2.
Realistically, first place and the whole podium should make everyone's jaw hit the floor. Like, that is the top spot. And you really should look at it and go, wow, that is something to strive for. Which, for a long time, it's been, that's nice, but honestly, I would trade all of it just for the title.
Yeah, it's a weird one, because, again, having played in Tier 1, having gotten podium a few times, having gotten, like, 4th or 5th, way more times. I think it is... This one's always difficult, right? The first time rewards are buffed, we always talk about this. Like if a store gets buffed or whatever, it's like, okay, that's the premium, right? Because the game continues to move on and things become, they don't lose value necessarily, but they become easier to obtain elsewhere. And so, yeah, I agree with your thought that this should be jaw dropping. I think I'm close to it because, I mean, tier 7 basic, that's the new premium item. Right.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does this feel close to jaw dropping? Like,
it feels pretty good. Yeah. The difference I find with War versus literally everything else is there is no proper store for it. Yes, there's the loyalty store, but the prices in there are exorbitant.
Yeah.
And what you get is highly outdated. So we'll gloss over that. There is no store for this, which basically means you get a month's worth of rewards in one package once the season's finished. There are war-to-war rewards. Yes, they are nice if you win all of your rewards. I mean, that's about 6,000 7-star shards, which is nice, but no one wins all of them. And it's still only 6,000 7-star shards. So if you think about, what does a month of Alliance Quest, so 3 rounds of Alliance Quest and a raids, what does that get you? And that's not versus anyone, unless you're doing the prestige race at the top and so on. You just sort of get them. And there's the store that goes with it. So I'm very big on the idea that, and the same for Battlegrounds, so there is a store for it, that those rewards for being the top PvP players should be really, really high.
I don't want to sidetrack us too much. In fact, I don't want to sidetrack us at all. I'm just going to say this, and then you kind of give me your thoughts on it. And I am reading the chat, everyone. I just don't want to interrupt Encyclopedia here.
Do it, Anka.
Well, no, because I want to have some amount of, like, we're talking about this. I I wonder if BG's is coming soon. BG's reward buff.
I have heard from a lot of high tier BG's players that they would really like that to happen.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
Keep it really subtle.
Wow, is that some sort of like secret private chat that you've heard that
in? No. I'm in the barely gets to gladiator circuit chat.
Yeah. Oh, got it. Yeah, that's. Again, I don't like. We'll talk about that after this. Let's keep moving through. And again, I am reading the chat. What's interesting is people. I'm seeing more not excited about war rewards getting buffed than I'm seeing. Okay, Rye is saying there. Okay, and Rye plays in. Rye, can you remind me where you're at these days, bud? I know you're in a high tier alliance. I just don't recall which one exactly.
So I think the problem people have with the buff to rewards is if you scroll down a bit further, the reward buff stops at Plat 6, at least according to the sheet. So anyone that's in gold or below, there is no change.
I mean, doesn't this feel like the same thing every time? Like, I feel like every time there's a rewards buff, it's almost like they forget that they're like, oh, it doesn't end at Platinum 3? That's weird. Oh, we thought it did. We're like, no, see, we know that you make the game, but you've clearly forgotten there's other tiers, and then people complain, which they honestly probably should. And then Kabam's like, oh, yeah, okay. And then they give in. Isn't that the same cycle as always, or am I just totally misremembering?
Yes and no. There's always, when something's higher up, you buff it more. So if all rewards get doubled, something that's low down gets doubled and it doesn't increase much. Something that's higher up gets doubled, it increases a lot. I
definitely understand the incentivizing the top, right? Like we talk about this before every single banquet for years now, and I've advised all my viewers, and like, set your budget and then stay the heck out, because all of the rewards are at the very, very top, and it's to incentivize like mindless spending, because it's a blind auction and you're competing against whatever your fear is now, right? Whatever you will make you feel super confident you're going to hit a tier, but it's completely based on whatever voice in your head is telling you need to keep going. And the way that you kind of incentivize that is by putting the rewards at the premium, right? The very, very highest. And like, I get it. If you're trying to incentivize people to play war and to push war, you've got to do it by making large premium jumps as you go. That being said, there is a large, I think anyways, a significant amount of the player base who's not going to push war regardless. And
war is stressful.
It is. That's the whole reason why I'm like, I kind of want to go back, but I also kind of don't. I'm in a I can totally relate to that. And that doesn't change if you're doing tier 1 or if you're doing tier 92 or whatever. I don't know how low the tiers go. So, but I get the premise of putting a large premium in the highest possible tiers to incentivize pushing, you know?
Yeah, and that does make sense. I wonder, this is purely hypothetical,
yeah,
if anyone at Kabam had a thought, which is, what if we just completely restructure all of the Alliance rewards, and turn it into a reward system that is similar to Alliance Quest? Every time you win a war, you get a stack of war currency, call it whatever you want, and the higher tier you are, or lower tier you are, tier 1, 2, and 3 get more than tier 12 for each one war, and if you lose, you still get a bit. Well done for taking part, as you should. And then at the end of the season, you get a big chunk according to where you come. You know, if you come first, you get 100,000. If you come, you're in Stone 5, you get 6. But that way, you can very much pick and choose what you wanted to spend it on. If you're in tier 1 pushing for the absolute top, you could, after every war, you might be able to buy, insert any reward you want, catalyst, shards, whatever. But if you're, say, in silver, you spend an entire season to buy the same thing. but you still let you pick and choose. If you want to spend 6 seasons saving up for one big thing, you can absolutely do that. It's completely within your purview to do so.
Yeah, I mean that all makes sense. I see like Brian's got an idea here in chat. They all make sense on some level. What I imagine it is like I live in the city of San Francisco. MCoC Encyclopedia. Like every time I hear you talk, I'm like, this guy obviously lives in London. It's just obvious, right? Of course, I'm saying this as a person who doesn't live anywhere near there and is going off of a bad stereotype. So I apologize. I hope you understand the essence of the joke. Is those are both like very old cities, and if you could redo it all, it'd be like, oh, well, we could just easily redesign the streets and like, here's how it would make sense. And this would be so much better for everyone. The problem is there's all these structures that have already been built. Right. And so
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So it's like, trust me, every day I drive my kids to school and I pick them up and I'm like, God damn, if they could just fix this. And like, as a thought exercise, I'll talk to my kids like, oh, what would you do? And they like say, and they're like, okay, but here's the problem. People have houses right there. Like, what do you do with that? And they're like, oh yeah, you can't just like take their houses, can you? I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that's a good idea.
It's a tough one. It's a really tough one with what to do with war because, again, a bit like the spending event, the difference between mid-plat 1 and upper plat 1 is enormous. The difference between upper plat 1 and middle low masters is enormous. The difference between middle lower masters and upper masters is enormous. And the difference between upper masters and podium is enormous. But how do you account for that?
I don't know. Here's what I'm also finding interesting is the tier 7 basic. You at least get. I mean, it's not nothing, dude. You're still getting that in platinum too.
Yeah, that's 10%, but that stacks up.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's really difficult too. And we'll move on a little bit here. Is I think this is one of those like you don't know what you don't know sort of things. And I'm aware of the time that people put in to hit platinum 1 or masters or platinum 2. But if you've never tried to do it, you have no concept. It would baffle, like it would blow your mind how much time people are spending on like just specific rank ups for war or planning for war or doing the duels for war or like it's a really I feel like it's its own extremely unique I'm going to say something that's so obvious it's going to sound dumb. It's a very unique and standalone part of MCoC, and unless you've done it, you just can't. It'd be like trying to get to hit like C4 in Battlegrounds. Until you really play that much, you have no clue how much those people are playing, right? So,
I have said to myself a few times, if an alliance leader could be a full-time job, 40 hours a week, without question.
Yeah.
The amount of time some people put into it, with all the planning and the rank ups and, every time I want to rank a champion, it's straight message the alliance leader, hey, what do we think of this? That conversation takes 10, 15 minutes. You do that 30 times.
Yeah.
It's a huge commitment and something that requires everyone's respect, whether you do it or not.
Okay, so and then you get to Platinum 3 and to Encyclopedia. Are you comfortable saying what part of England you are from? Is that if you're not, it's totally fine. But people are asking.
I've seen Modad's question, if that's what you're referencing.
Yeah,
I'm not from York, but I did live there for 4 years.
Okay. And then in Platinum 3, you're getting Tier 4 Alpha. So you're still getting a sizable amount. I think just the way our brains work, as soon as the tier 7 basics not in the picture, it's kind of like, Okay. So I think we've given our thoughts on that. So let's go. We're aiming to simplify a selection of attack tactics to heroic and challenger maps from 5 tactics down to 1. I love that. To choose from in hopes to clear up the choice and focus on the core experience. Okay. Defense tactics, new season, new tactic. This time because of the new map. This post feels very well written. Just in general, like I'm following it much easier than I typically do their posts, or historically have. I feel like the posts have been really well written for a while now. For the next 2 seasons, Genesis and the new tech Coda. Maybe we come back and do this if people are interested in it. Because I mean, while this is part of the new map, I don't think this is more the tactic itself. Or have you had time to review the tactic at all?
Yes, the short answer is it doesn't look overly threatening. Basically, the defenders, whenever they finish a special attack, they will go unblockable for a given amount of time, and that's longer the higher up you are, and it's longer depending on the amount of bars of power they spent. But if you're using the attacker, if you punish said special attack, it removes all unblockable from them, and you gain it instead. And also, whilst you have... It specifies this unblockable, so I'm going to presume it has to be that one, not just any unblockable. You also do 20% more burst damage.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if your attacker has an unblockable native to their kit, that's not the one that's going to get the benefit. You have to do the skill ask of the meta.
Yep.
Okay. Am I understanding that correctly then? At least on first glance, that means you don't have to have a tactic attacker to take a tactic defender in the way that you have kind of needed to in these other metas.
I would say so, yeah. It entirely depends on the pool, but there I think will almost certainly be someone in there that, for example's sake, say Sentry is on the defender list.
Yeah.
He's going to go unblockable after his special 1. Okay. He's an unblockable Sentry now. That's not... It depends where you put them, of course, but yeah, it's just a longish unblockable, exactly as Na has said.
Okay, yeah, so not saying that. So I gotta say that on first... on first glance, having not looked at the nodes yet, and not seen the map, all that stuff, I really like this. One of my things of many has been that I've ranked up this champion, they're gonna be great for war. Oh, they're not in the pool. Okay, I guess I'll just wait a couple months, And I think in this game where whether you're spending money or units or both, you've done something to accumulate that, and then you put it into the game, you rank it up, you want to play with it, and so I kind of been digging this so far. Power back boost. This means champions like Professor X. I know a guy who did a great video on Professor X without power backs. He did it recently. It was phenomenal. The guy was me, by the way. And dust reduce.
It's interesting they've chosen dust as the second option.
It is interesting. They're Cosmic Ghost Rider and Ghost don't exist.
No, I've seen it now. It's because they have... Oh. They don't spend the full amounts of power on their attack with that one's back. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people... I saw a lot of memes going around when the post came out, which is that, Professor X has been found, in a gutter somewhere. I don't see that as the case, because on his special 3, he spends less than 1.5 bars of power, which is his maximum refund amount. So he can still special 3 spam.
Yeah,
Oh.
What? Go ahead.
Or can he?
I don't think people do special 3 spam, but here's the thing. Is if you throw the special 3, you're getting that the larger prowess, right? You're going to come out with probably well over 2 bars of power, especially if you've used a power back boost. The defender is power locked and special locked, and you are turning off evade and miss. And if you haven't used your own personal falter yet, you could I know you're yes, I know how to play Professor X. I get that. But I've literally thought about it. I'm if I just packaged Professor X, but didn't say Professor X and it's here's the new champion coming into the game next month. People will be oh my God, this champion is bonkers, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, the point is that cycle, I would think, I haven't been in tier 1 in a while, is doing the damage of most fights.
I've just realized that I have actually made a mistake, and I want to rectify that quickly. Yeah. So it is the amount of power that they spent on the special, not the amount of power they would have spent before power efficiency comes into play. So Professor X should spend 3 bars of power on a special 3, but he doesn't. He spends about 0.7 bars of power on a special 3.
Yeah.
I mean, he can only get back about 0.35 bars of power, not 1.5. I want to make that clear that that's my mistake. It's how much they did spend, not how much they should spend.
Well, if he's in mind control, I think that's what it's called, he's still coming out with well over 2 bars of power.
Yeah, and then he's going to drop a special 2, but he can't just infinitely chain specials anymore. But I actually see this, and I might get some flack for this, I see this as a buff for Ghost, which is a disgusting thing to have to say.
I mean, she needs it. Poor gal, no one plays her anymore.
That last part is true.
Although I do know a guy who did a great video on her. Yes, it happens to be the guy on Call With Me, MCoC Cyclopedia. So, all right, let's go ahead and move through this. And as I said in the video, I feel badly for people who ranked up these champions for the specific thing with power back. I did put in, I think it's okay for me. No, I can say it was my idea. I can say what I want. I did say, like, hey, I think it'd be cool to do, if people have recently taken them to rank 4, do a rank down ticket that maybe expires the day Epoch goes live. But, you know, whatever. I imagine there probably wasn't too many rank 4 like Corvuses running around. So I feel badly for folks. Okay. All right. Let's move through. Is that it? I thought this went over all the map.
I'll send you the full link. It's on the official website, not the
forums.
Not the forums. Yeah, hang on. I'll just send it to you in the call chat. Is that how this works? No, it's going in the Illuminati chat. Here you go.
Illuminati, what's that?
No idea, never heard of them.
Yeah, I know. Hercules, Silk, Titanium.
So, Hercules ban?
Herc.
Came out of absolute left field. No idea. We haven't seen a single Hercules in quite some time.
I guess they just don't like Hercules, dude.
I think the people at Kabam quite like the design space of Hercules.
I'm frequently hearing the people at Kabam say that we need more Hercs, right?
Yeah. A lack of 7-star Herc it's only a matter of time.
It's like, it's the official like call of Kabam. They're like, just Herc it, you know? Like, they're like, where should we have this meeting? They're like, just Herc it, baby. Like, that's
Sorry,
what they...
I think I just heard half of my comments section.
I mean, he's pretty good. Did we do this right? Oh no. Why is this not working? Why?
So just to run over the other ones while Vega's dealing with his technical interestings.
Yeah.
So the Photon and Titania whitelist, that comes off the fact that they've been blacklisted. I'm surprised that Count Nefaria has been banned in Expert, but not in Elite. I have used him a few times this season, particularly for taking Path 7 in Section 1, Path 2 in Section 2. That looks better.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, so I'm surprised he hasn't been carried up. But I suppose I've used him, which means he can't have been banned too much.
Sorry, everybody. I will get this sorted in at least a minute here. I need to clean all this stuff up. This isn't a you issue. This is a me issue. All right. So what are we saying? We're going to look at the actual nodes.
So this is long. It's really long.
Okay. I don't know if we will look at all the nodes then. And this still isn't correct. What has...
If you just zoom out a touch.
Yeah, you know what it was, is something picked up my Discord, and I was like, there's nothing like terrible in there, but I don't know if I want everyone to be able to read my Discord here. Okay. Let's move that down. Let's see here. We're getting this sorted.
It's looking good.
Yeah, there we go. I think this is much better. And then... whatever. This is going to have to work. Okay. This is one of the bigger shifts in Alliance War that we've done in a while. In order to modernize the paths and give new champions more space to breathe, we've decided to do an overhaul of the most of the map to create a new meta diversity. Okay, this is what we were talking about earlier. I'm really curious to see if you have thoughts, if Gentle or Koi, if there's anything in here. And increase design space for newer champions to flourish on both attack and defense. This was a long time in the making, and we hope that these new node designs create new defender opportunities. I mean, this is literally what you were saying in the beginning of this. Build a better foundation for war. Are there anyone in the chat or Encyclopedia Buddy, if there's any specific node you want to call out? Because I'm seeing this now, and yeah, we don't have time to go over every single node here. It would be an 8-hour stream. Is there anything specific?
So if you scroll down, actually going through some of these at lightning speed, High Energy Diet we've seen before, it is currently on the map, but these are weaker versions. So it's High Energy Diet 3 is currently on the map. Those are weaker versions. Special Burst Neutralize, that's going to be interesting because it depends who you put down, exactly where they are, can't quite remember. Champions like Photon, who I believe can go Neutralize Immune on her Sig, might flourish there, but that means there'll be a push away from Mystic Defenders, which is always nice because Mystic Dispersion is a pain.
Hold on, though. It's a Neutralize debuff. It's not a Neutralize passive.
That is true, so we can deal with debuffs. However, I have had a glance through some of the nodes, and I can't remember if it comes up with this one at all. Cold Turkey is a node that's around on the war map now, which is the one that degens you for shrugging debuffs. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. But yeah, the interesting one, if you scroll down just a little bit more, we've got Sixth Sense has appeared on the war map, and that is rough. Because champions like, I think it's Nova, when they auto-block, count as parries. So yeah, a lot of champions have abilities which is like, when they auto-block, this can trigger the parry mastery. And some of them say, this auto-block can trigger the parry mastery, and others just say, when this champion auto-blocks, they trigger the parry mastery. So this one is going to be rough.
I mean, my brain, like, just, again, it shows you, like, the era. My brain immediately goes to MCoC on this.
The counter to that, you send Mags, spam heavy, special 3, drop him.
Yeah.
Because it's only medium and lights he can auto block, so it's going to be heavy spammer champions. Or maybe we see a return of Corvus with Proxima. Just pick up the True Strike. Eat a few hits if you have. If you put an invul boost on, you can eat 3 of 5 hits taking no damage. Now you have True Strike for the rest of the path.
What's up, Modad? Patrick OIC. What's up, guys? I am reading the chat here, trying to kind of like go through this. This is what's up, Laser. Mr. B, what's up, dude? And Depression Cito. This is I mean, I've been saying that, like, I felt like Vox was totally unique in Cosmic, and because of that, stocks were up. I mean, like, it's just a node now. Vox would still, I mean, I guess if you use an advanced power boost, he'll will start with an SP1, so you can just get your Undermine right away. You could heavy, because like you're saying, it's just medium and light attached. So you could heavy your way to the first bar of power, get the Undermine.
Yeah, I'm thinking about someone like Shocker, who's got his inbuilt Limber.
Yeah.
With Max Limber anyway, he's borderline stun immune. So I don't think you can parry heavy a Shocker if you've got a slow heavy attack animation.
This is also, I mean, this is kind of like what they were saying earlier, like a Scream, right? A very quick. I don't remember how she gets her Undermine. I recalled not loving her Undermine. Is that tied in with her Sig? I can't remember why I didn't like it as much.
I think it's off cycling her madness, but honestly, I haven't read Scream in depth. I should.
Yeah, and Modad's kind of saying a similar thing. It's like 6 cents max number is going to be awful. Okay. Let's keep moving on.
Yeah, so there's a couple of, like, you throw a special attack, you get a Cowardice. Big deal.
This is a passive, though. Like,
yeah, so it'll cut your damage on special attacks, but then you just focus on champions with big. Say you send Hulkling there. Yes, you're going to get a Cowardice, so your special 2's not going to hit as hard. But now you've still got Hulkling with 2 Furies who's going to slap pretty hard. Or someone like what's he called? Zola that's just come in. He doesn't really care about his special attacks, that sort of thing. That's the sort of champion you'll be targeting there.
Okay, that makes sense.
It is on activation, and so it's not afterwards, but also ability accuracy reduction, using mags again, that sort of thing.
I can't tell if Rye's joking or not, but saying they should have made these notes harder. No, Mr. Belding, we're going to look at that offer after this. The chat voted for the war, and then we're going to go look at the offer, the sale before the sale.
One that has snuck its way in here is steady build-up reverse controls.
Yeah.
That is going to be awful. Someone like Havoc in there who is constantly putting debuffs on and then off and then on and then off. It's not like Dust, where once they're on, she's kind of unblockable the whole fight for the current node.
So I do feel like we've gotten more champions that have, not to continue shouting out Professor X, but yes, he's immune to reverse controls. But isn't like, again, a new champion. Isn't Jack-o'-lantern immune to reverse controls?
Ooh.
I think Jack is.
Yes, it's just like his combat training, Master Assassin's training, that's it. Yeah. Immune to reverse controls.
There's just been more kind of like, it's just been like added in, And I mean, I know you're going to love this. Guess what the Illuminati's got to do? we're going to have to go reevaluate war scores. Maybe we wait a month or two to see what actually happens. But
definitely until the off season's finished.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't care about the next nodes, but note they are severe unsteady, which means it's a severe debuff is now in a node.
Oh shit! I thought you were making a joke about the word. I thought you were making a pun joke.
If only.
If only. At the start, but here, this is the combo one. I want to read this. At the start of the fight, an 18-second combo time starts. The attacker does not gain. Okay, so literally earlier I was saying, if Okoya's like combo, like again, guys, you got to go back. I know so many people have come into the game since then, but like Squirrel Girl, right? Doesn't she have a combo thing? I remember like when she was coming to the game, a lot of us were like, she's good, but like if this combo thing became more something that was asked for more, her stocks would go up a lot.
Black Cat's the other option for that as well. She's got combo manipulation.
And what does Unsteady do to you again? Does that cause your attacks to glance?
Yes, it's an awful, awful debuff. And now it's severe.
Yeah, yeah. Kurt, we kind of went over the rewards, and yeah, we had a long discussion. Everyone, I don't want to speak for NC here, but like I know I was like, I mean, I get why the premium's at the very top. I get it because it's to incentivize pushing. At the same time, like people pushing P3 are trying their butts off. Like I'm aware. I have multiple friends in Alliance that only does 2 battlegrounds. They take war pretty seriously, and so it kind of. I don't like that it rubs the wrong way on that one. That's probably not putting it strongly enough. I don't want to overstate it right now either. Okay. Intercept suppression.
Yeah, so that one's just intercept or you get suppressed. It's kind of clues in the title, but do you want to drag on through a lot of them? So then there's Special Burst Trauma, which is another severe one. Obstinate Charge has come to war, and I hate that node.
So again, like I'm not looking to pat myself on the back. I'm more like stuff I've thought like interesting is one of the reasons why I thought Patriot was, and I remember saying this, it was like the whole like the debuff stay on him concept. If that starts being asked for more, his meta score, his value will go up tremendously. Here we are. Like I thought it was going to be via leader being a more prominent defender or more champions coming out with those, but this would be great for Patriot, right? Like this is what he does, isn't it? Or am I misunderstanding the notes?
Nope, sounds about right. Obstinate Charge with block penetration champions is an awful node, and it's now going on 1.5.1, so Path 5 and Section 1, where you've got to knock them down, so this is going to hurt someone's block a lot.
Again, just to point out how great Professor X is. When the attacker misses, as I said, it went, and this is why I always said, like, I want him awakened. Just wait like 10 seconds, and all of a sudden he's shutting down all miss and all evade. Not like an ability accuracy. He's just like, can't do it. Like, you could try to miss, it's just not going to happen.
Phantom Pain. I am anticipating seeing a lot of Mr. Sinisters placed on that node.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's anyone who else gets advantage with shrugging off their own debuffs. Maybe someone like Crossbones. He'll shut down
When the
all incoming. Yeah.
I mean, what about like Storm, Namor?
Well, they don't deal any damage, so that's...
Yeah, but don't they something?
Oh, Storm gains her prowess, doesn't she?
Yeah, and Namor gets like more of his outrage. I know they're not like actually if Storm catches you with a special, you got problems.
Oh, you're dead. Yeah, that's very much an all or nothing placement. Like, if it works, ouch.
Doesn't something happen to Onslaught when he gets bled as well?
He's just resistant to it. I think it's the Incinerate and the Shock that give him extra neuros.
OG Highland, you gonna leave this up? Yeah, I'll leave this one up. Yeah, and I'm glad you're enjoying this, buddy. Well, you know what you're giving me an idea, OG Highline. Hit me up in the members chat on Discord. We're lucky that I've got Encyclopedia on call here, though, to be able to really point this stuff out. Go ahead.
Cypher actually pointing out that Domino on that node will be awful with her power gain.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I like the Sinister Relic on her. Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, P-Dub saying Omega Red will have his death field up the whole time. That is true. You can just send a robot probably there then, because it goes up much slower, but chip damage is chip damage, but Domino there is going to be rough.
Look what Cypher's pointing out, too. Gentle will be stunning me in the whole fight. Again, this is like... I mean, I do appreciate Kabam not hiding the ball and just being very forthright in the beginning. Be like, look, we're also trying to, like, switch up the meta and emphasize, like, newer champions, open up design space. Like, you can see this. Like, oh, okay, here's new nodes, here's a new map, and then we'll throw these things into defenders. At least on a bigger meta, I think is the term level, umbrella level, I like what I'm seeing. I'm not saying I'm running back to tier 1. I just, in general, I like this. It does keep things fresh. And it's not just through, like, power creep, which I think is good. When the attacker purifies or cleanses a debuff, the defender gains a 30% protection passive.
Yeah, so this is another one of those... Oh, look, you've placed a debuff on me. Haha, I'm going to deal with that. No, you're not. And I don't know how it's going to work out, because we've seen with Decay, war scores are low. Really low, particularly at the top. Anything less than, if you're getting 3 deaths, that could be considered a poor war from some alliances. I don't know how the new tactic is going to see, but a lot of wars have been decided on fight time, in 1-1, 2-2 draws. Yeah. Dirty Work is slowing down that fight a lot.
This one, Daunting Doom. Anytime any champion gets a bar power, the target with a 10% Daunted. Correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Daunted also increase the damage into block?
It increases any and all damage dealt to the attacker whilst the defender is throwing their special attack. That includes things like your own recoil masteries, any damage over time they put on you, things like Domino's crit failure.
Okay.
So, yeah, someone like Onslaught, gonna hurt. Someone like Serpent, gonna hurt.
Learn them evades. Everyone just laughed, like, did he not hear him say Serpent? Okay.
Can you not evade Serpent Special 3?
I'm not good at it. I'm not good. I've tried. I with a little more practice. If we bump this up to 120 frames per second, I think I got a shot. Okay. When struck by a counterattack, when struck by a contact attack, the defender has a 10% chance, 6% chance. Reading's hard, people. Has a 6% chance to deal 10% of the attacks. Oh, Dazzler.
Thorns is back. Black Widow OG will be making her return. The year is 2016. It is season 2. Thorns is back on the war map.
So you've been playing the game that long? I don't know why I thought you were more recent than that.
No, I've got the 9-year, but not the 10-year title.
Okay. Yeah, so you got to go way back, guys. That was on the left side of the map, if I recall correctly, right?
way back.
Yeah. This was like, I can't believe I'm laughing at it now. I'm laughing out of like sadness. Oh God. But we have counters to this now. You got Onslaught, obviously you got Namor. If I haven't said Dazzler. And by the way, have I mentioned Dazzler?
You know who else has non-contact attacks?
Who?
Professor X.
Oh, that's right. It's only his first medium. It's like they're like, oh, whatever. I'm not going to make the joke. People have enough conspiracy theories as it is. Shuri. I've been telling y'all Shuri. Thank you, Cypher.
Shuri's pretty good.
Yeah, Shuri's all right. Shuri's all right. I said we weren't going to go every node, but I'm actually enjoying this. So, and I see viewers don't seem to hate it. So, okay. Rage. Uh-oh.
Rage. It's a different rage, though. Normal rages, they go unblockable. This is rage. They gain a glancing buff.
Okay, this has been interesting.
It's really interesting wording, because I'm under the assumption that said glancing buff means when we hit them, we glance, rather than them glancing against us.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
But is it Bill who's immune to glancing, but only to tech champions?
Yes, he's got his buff whose name escapes me, but yes.
Yeah, it's like steady. Is it steady buff, I think? Or
yes, I think you're right. But then also, it is just a buff like any others. So what we've effectively done is you can stack 5 Fury buffs and a glancing buff on any champion. So someone like Kushala could do quite well, because you can just spam special 1 when they get to 3 of, because they've got to get to 5 stacks to get rid of it before they start glancing. Sorry. And yes, the glancing can come back if you remove it, but once you have removed it, you just drop all of the Furies as well. However, those are big Furies. 250% damage on anyone. It's going to hurt if you get caught.
I think it's obvious. Kabam just wants me to go back to Tier 1 War. I mean, they have made nodes specifically for Professor X, Kushala, and Dazzler. 3 of my favorite champions to play. One of which I designed all by myself. Like, I just... It's obvious, Kabam. I appreciate this. I appreciate it. All right. Moving on through...
I don't see a huge amount of bonus in this one, apart from Cersei, because she will gain 1 every time you hit her whilst that glancing is up.
Yeah, and so this is energizes combat power rate, right?
Oh yeah, I've just also thought about Viv Vision starting the fight with 16 buffs.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's going to be... It depends on the order of operations. If her buffs trigger before the node triggers, then she'll get it. If the node triggers first... Sorry, other way around. If she triggers her armors, then the node, she won't get it. But if node comes online, then her buffs trigger, she will.
This is the first node I don't like, because it's distinctly anti-Chavez. So, kabam, you're bad people. I think everyone understands why it's anti-Chavez. I'll also say...
Intensify, though. That's very pro-Chavez.
There we go. That's what we needed. Is these nodes, like, I've kind of learned from you, like Nagase, and a lot of other creators too. But obviously I watch you guys a lot. I've started testing champions in, like, act content. Just trying to, like, force them in, see what they can do. Because I was like, oh, I really like that these guys do this in their videos. I'm still going to use the CCP map, of course, for ease of, like, I can fight this defender or whatever to show that. In doing that, though, like Act 9, these nodes don't feel like out of nowhere. Like, I feel like these are asks that the game asks us. They just haven't been necessarily asked in war a lot. Is that, or do you have the same feeling, or is there stuff that's just like kind of shocking? A lot of these
nodes are like plays on a theme.
Yeah,
like we've seen combat deja vu nodes for years. We've seen hazard shift coming soon. A long time, that sort of thing. Or when the defender gains a buff, trigger this effect. Like, none of them are massively out of left field. As you'll notice, there are a lot of new hazard shift nodes.
In fact, was it you that predicted there'd be a rupture hazard shift soon?
Let's say yes. Why not?
I'm almost positive it was you, and maybe in like the top 10 videos.
Probably my comments on Ghost just being immune to everything.
Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. And I recall being like, you know what? They're not wrong. Because we're starting to get rupture immune champions. It's starting to kind of happen. I can't tell. I can't think of who it is. Can you?
Spider-Punk's rupture immune, but he's not immune to anything else.
That's right.
So I foresee in the next 6 months, we will see a champion that is rupture and bleed immune. We will see a champion that is, incinerate and bleed immune, or cold snap and bleed immune, and so on. Ooh, Iceman maybe.
So people are saying, Kurt's saying they're excited for this, Mr. Belding. That is not the way to get me excited to go check out this sales, but I'll still go do it. But that's hilarious. Modad, Silk and Scorpion. Scorpion shifting immunity.
Ooh, yeah. But it's rupture and bleed, which he doesn't have immunity to. But there is the poison and rupture one. So if you choose shock, but that means you counter it by putting someone like Onslaught down there, who if you shock, you're gonna get messed up.
Absorbing Man with his physical, I can't think what it's called. His
Uru form.
Uru, yeah. On Uru, okay. Silk, it reduces the duration of ruptures?
Something like that, yes. She's got some interaction with ruptures.
What's interesting is that we're naming champions that are 6-star locked. And I don't want to get excited that they're coming to 7 stars, but I can't help but starting to feel excited they might be coming to 7 stars.
Yeah. Was Silk on the blacklist for this season? Was she whitelisted?
She was on A list. I recall seeing the name.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, without Decay, you can't use Silk on Hazard Shift. But yeah, Silk has 90% reduction of rupture duration, sorry. So again, you can half use her. This
is a video that's not out yet. It's not out yet. It'll come out when I'm able to put it out. But I've already basically recorded it because I thought I was going to put it out this week, but I didn't. It'll all become clear later. There is a champion who I literally say in the video, it's really hard to show you how valuable all of these immunities are, but they're there. And when you have to face them, you will be really happy you have them all. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I see it. I see they don't have rupture immunity, but I think they've got everything else. Maybe not shock. And so it's really hard to score how valuable that is, but it is valuable. If they can then have enough damage to get you through the problem, whatever it is. But when they just handle a problem like a debuff like this, you don't have to think about it. And so I do think that needs to be, given a lot of value. Modad knows who I'm talking about. Here's even Cold Snap Bleed. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a big push for what we call half play on the Hazard Shift nodes, where you play the game in one of the modes and then say, they switched to the other one. I'm just going to parry them until it comes back again because there's nothing you can do.
Which is then a skill ass, though, right? Because you're getting cornered,
Absolutely. Or you're one of those people that can slam parries back to back to back without dexing. But for the Cold Snap Poison one, you've got Mephisto, Warlock, Emma Frost in Diamond form. Is that it?
As far as
Absman with A-Bomb synergy.
Cold Snap
Poison.
Doesn't.
I'm sure I'm forgetting some newer champions, but it's not a big pool. Someone's calling out Sentinel.
Deathless Thanos. He has an interesting. He might not be immune to poison, actually.
But regardless, you can count the number of champions, on 2 hands.
Oh, and Cypher. What's up, Carl? Carl's. Hey, what's up, buddy? Thanks for being here. Cypher. Okay. Warlock. All right. Whenever the defender activates a special, they purify. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So again, I'll stop prefacing these. The leader, right? If a map is placed where you need these debuffs to stay, a defender on this purified slate, leaders' debuffs won't get purified, correct?
I believe so. They shouldn't do. I'll let you know in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you're like, well, I don't know yet because I haven't been able to test it. And I, because it's the way this works, like, is one of the many reasons I do enjoy war videos when the players like explain what's happening. Is because I can learn from them, and then I can often Kabam uses these threats in other places. It's not like it just exists solely in war. And so seeing these, I'm like, okay, like it makes sense. Like Leader does this really cool new thing. Ask us to use it, please. And it fits in really well with how they introed this whole post. So, yeah. What do you think overall, but like as you look at all of this?
Just one last on the purified slate nodes. I'd be very interested if people try sending champions like Bishop or Havoc to fight those nodes, because when they punish the purify ability, you are putting extra burst damage on the defender. But
Bishop does it against every champion, right? Storm is limited to skill.
No, so if you're using Bishop or Havoc on offense, if you purify Havoc's plasmas, or you purify any of Bishop's debuffs, you take bursts of damage.
Yeah. So
I wonder if people use them on offense and use this as a good node rather than as a bad one.
Okay, I let's not go over every single path. I think it'll just
let's work backwards until you get bored.
Well, people are sticking with us, but war is not. What's up, Hannah? How you doing? All right. War is not typically like the one that people are like, yes, I'd like to talk about war. It is interesting though. I do see viewership is actually holding while we literally theorize about the war. That might be a good sign for Kabam here. So the boss node champion boost 300%, health boost 900%. What is it currently? 900 sounds like a lot.
You want to scroll down a bit further. I think it is currently 900%. That's not... I don't think it's... Realistically, the health percentage isn't the most important thing. Whether it's 800%, 900%, at that point you kind of hit diminishing returns territory. The difference between 800%, 900% is only actually 12.5% difference.
Okay.
So as champions go up in health, you need to bring a champion with more attack to go against them. The boss node has never been the hardest node on the map. It's a big stun immune champion, kind of by tradition. However, I don't know if that energized node is new.
That's what I was just looking at too. And the adaptive passives.
Yeah. So the whole point of the boss node is just to take ages. That's all it does.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if we'll see defenders. Bullseye had his time on the boss node. Serpent had his time on the boss node. I wonder if we will see them back, simply based on how long those fights are going to take. Because if you can reliably end, say, a Bullseye fight with 25-30% health left, and you know it's safe, but you will lose a lot of health because he's Bullseye. If he's now going to be lasting that little bit longer, then suddenly it's not safe anymore.
Yeah. This is interesting. This is really interesting. I think this is fun. This is. I'm curious to see how it ends up potentially playing into the game itself, as far as like questing, story content, and that sort of thing. I don't know if it has any strong feeling for me on more or less wanting to go back to tier 1. How are you as a tier 1 player? Are you like happy, excited, nothing?
There will be a spike in war deaths, guaranteed, because it's new stuff and people are still working out what works. So that will take a lot of the pressure off for the first season, as long as you as the individual are, okay with what you have.
Yeah.
So I would say if you want to return, either do it quickly, so it's a bit slightly lower pressure, or wait a season or two until it's settled down and people knows what works. So yeah. I'm always curious when a new war map comes out, because I remember when the previous war map came out and we were looking at all of these ebb and flow nodes going, how on earth is this going to work? We have no idea how these nodes are going to play. I don't see anything like that. Every node here, you read it, you understand it. There is no major implication of any of them. Of course, there will be testing to be done, but I don't see it as complicated. It's a big upheaval, but I don't see it as complicated as the previous one.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
No, it does. I get what you're saying. Like, we looked at this, and it was more like, oh, okay. Like, we could already start thinking of champions that might be able to handle the threat, and then it'll be about the defensive placements, like the actual champions that are placed on those nodes, and how you adjust to that, as opposed to, like, this node that just is, how do you even take this node, right? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay.
We have enough tough defenders that the war map itself doesn't need to be overly tough.
Yeah.
Because you give people free range to put down the war map, defense is designed to be as annoying as possible. There are some fights... For example, if there was a node on the map that was armor break immunity and power shield and crit me with your best shot, you would stick Warlock on that node and it would be awful. That sort of node combination will never come up because people do this. So the war map itself is never the worst. I'm just curious to see how it could play out.
All right, well, cool. And everyone in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. Mr. Building saying I'd get an Ulster in Tier 1. Yeah, man. It's fun, and it's fun for that reason. It's the highs and the lows, right?
Short story. We had a war, it must have been about 5 seasons ago, where someone said, I lost a lot of health in that fight, but I did solo it. It was a really, really close war. I got distracted in the middle, and he sent us a picture because his smartwatch, had said, given your heart rate and blood pressure, I think you're having a heart attack.
And they may have been.
I'd say, do you want me to call an ambulance? It's like, no, I'm just playing Alliance War.
No, just playing MCoC. It's a mobile game. It's fun. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I get this, and I'm gonna read this because I do think it's important for this. They've written it relatively like I'm gonna read it. This is from Finch. So in summary, they've increased the difficulty, nerfed the power back boost, not touched the revive potions, and done little to nothing for rewards lower than mid plan. Yes, and like there's a whole other side to it, and there's the players who are playing at the more competitive levels. And you hear potential excitement about that. Me even being like, oh, this is cool, and we can learn, and the rest of the game, and all that. But yeah, and I think that's an example of why it is important that they do at least throw a couple things in there for the lower tiers. I really do. So, but I think we're done. Was there anything else you wanted to add in about war, unless we get a specific question on it?
No, I'm all good.
Okay. Yeah, this sale, like even the timing of the sale feels weird. Like, I don't. Is there anything specifically that people would like covered or analyze? Because this just feels very like. I don't. I hate to. I'm a big believer in not every sale is for me. That doesn't mean it's bad. Like it's kind of how I approach almost everything in life, to be honest. Unless I have to participate in something, and I'm like, I don't like it. That's okay. I'm not participating anyway. So my sense is that this just isn't designed for people like me. Because that's what those are. What even is this? What are those? Oh, there's 7-star hero crystal shards. So yeah, like if you're close to a 7-star crystal, I could see someone maybe want to do that, or just like your massive whales. Think about like how much you saw get spent in Banquet just a couple months ago, and so what seems to be no big deal to some of the players in our game. Yeah, I don't. My Titan pools have been absolutely horrible lately, so Kabam would almost have to pay me units for the suffering that they have caused me. What is this? What even are these?
I think they're free paragons as you go through.
Yeah, and like the most you could get is a 6-star.
Oh, that's not right. Do you mind looking at the description for the 1 and 2 offers? The first 2.
Oh, no wonder my I didn't get anything above a 5-star.
Well, when I opened mine, I would have sworn it said 4 to
Oh.
7-star.
Wait, hold on. Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
that's a weird crystal.
Yeah, that's... Someone stayed up late at night to put that one together.
Yeah. So presumably that means you can get 4 to 6-star of the first set, and then on the same roll, 4 to 7-star of the second set.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
I don't open enough of these crystals to understand them.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it looks like the big prize here is Nightcrawler, right?
It's absolutely for those that missed out on Nightcrawler.
And what's interesting is, and they probably sent the instructions in the mail, was like, do you have to get every single thing here in order to... So if you're getting Nightcrawler, you're spending 1, 3, 4, 6, 11. 11,000 units to get a single thing of Nightcrawler. It ain't worth it. I'll just tell you that right now. Don't do it. But you know what? If you did do it, I hope you enjoy your Nightcrawler. And like I said, just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's inherently bad. And sometimes, you gotta kind of make some bad offers to help show how good the good ones are. And there's a chance that's a little bit of what this is, because we all know that there's a sale in literally a week from today. J-Will. So J-Will loves their R3 Sig 200 Nightcrawler, and J-Will is one of the best Battlegrounds players literally in the world. So there you go. I love how the President Cito says these offers are from like 2023. Man, when you're as old as I am, 2 years ago isn't that long. What's up, Mediocre Sam? How you doing? This is a prequel to the Eris fight and how much it's gonna suck. Increase war difficulty, then rob you with an impressive solo, unless you are a youthful gentleman with a love for Sonic. I feel like you wrote that in code, Mr. Belding, and I need the decoder ring because I don't understand. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be obtuse.
I think he's saying that Ares is going to be super hard unless you're MSD.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right. Yes, I agree. Thank you. The decoder ring apparently is MCoC Encyclopedia. Okay. All right. So now what do we do? I hadn't planned on doing. Well, yeah. Earlier today, I did not know any of this stuff would be happening. I did not know there'd be a war update. I definitely didn't know that there'd be a Nightcrawler sale. I had planned on stream testing Zola, but I got to be honest, with the amount of time I have left in the stream, there's no way we're going to be able to thoroughly test him. Do you have a working knowledge of him at all, MCoC Encyclopedia?
Yeah, working enough.
Are you going to stick around for a little bit, or are you hopping off call here in a few minutes?
Oh, I'll hang around if you want me to.
Yeah, I'd love to. Why don't we do that then? Let's stream test. Look over the tactic champs. Okay, we'll quickly look over the tactic champs.
I don't think we know the pool yet. Oh yes, we do. Sorry, that's in game. My apologies.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's see here. It is Genesis.
It's the defense, and I think Coda is the offense.
Coda. Okay. Kushala, Dazzler, Professor X are all tactic. Wolverine, Weapon X.
Doesn't Dazzler have miss on her dash in?
Yeah.
That could make her very safe for punishing specials. Because even if you mistime it, like you're not going to get parried, you're not going to get hit. You gotta have
the dazzling dash set up. She's not easy to play. She's not easy to get like the high bar. She's really good in that. She's really good for a lot of reasons, but she's like one of those like relatively easy to get in and just play. But if you want to like really maximize her, you got to learn how to play her. You really got to dial in. She's great. I think she's a phenomenal. Not only do I think she's very powerful, I think she's a phenomenal addition to the game. Dude, even Chakra's tactic. Oh my god. This is glorious.
I saw someone in my lines now, I think about it, was very happy that Mordo was on the attacker tactic.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Colossus. Right, that's it. Game over. Colossus everything.
Did you know that you can't even properly test his damage in game?
Really? Someone should make a video about that.
Someone did. It was actually really cool. Okay, so that's the attackers. And the defenders were Genesis. Oh, my newly awakened Adam Warlock.
What are we thinking? There was the node where every time they gain a buff, so Hulkling will be stuck on that one. Probably we'll see him there. I wonder if we'll see I mean, we've got Atuma, so Atuma's a weird one because he's got built-in thorns. So do you stick him on the thorns node so he's got double thorns? Or not, because you're already, you see in Atuma, you send an Onslaught, you send a Dazzler, for example. Is there any point doubling up when you're already going to be looking to counter him? Or do you spread it out and put someone like Maestro on the Thorns node? So now you need to work around multiple issues. There is no right answer, by the way. That is just how war planning goes.
Yeah, I mean, you leaders who set the defense, these are the traps you set up, right?
Mm.
I mean, this is Maestro's even a defender or a tactic. Black Panther is as well.
I will say, so here comes my 10-second rant.
Yeah, rant.
When attacker tactics and defender tactics were first announced, actually defender tactics were announced before attacker tactics were a thing. The whole point in the Kabam post, and this was years ago, I get it, the game evolves, was to say, these are some champions that no one ever uses. Let's try and give them a bit more oomph so we can see them, give them their time. And then Korg is in basically every single one of them. Sasquatch has been in half of them. Now we've got Maestros in here. Atuma doesn't need extra defensive power. So I get it. The game changes, the game evolves, but the whole point was to bring champions up rather than making the creme de la creme even more annoying.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, right? Like, we have Atuma rated as one of the best Battlegrounds defenders in the whole entire game.
Yes, without question.
Same with Maestro. Medusa is a sneaky good defender. You want a counter. Best I can tell.
Yeah, sig one and done.
One thing that so just to kind of like, it's not a counter to what you just said, it's an yes and, is I do believe that's what was said originally. And I felt like, from my own personal standpoint, it went way too far. It made me like it became a large part of what I didn't enjoy about war. Was like, I don't want to make fun of a champion. I'm okay making fun of Gore, okay? Like, let's say Gore became like a great attacker for a tactic. I mean, I don't want to play Gore, dude. I just ranked up Gladiator. No, that doesn't make any sense. I just ranked up Venom. He's really good. Like, I enjoy playing him. Or Gladiator. Gladiator's good too. Like, and like, if not for this really difficult tactic that's making it so I have to bring a tactic attacker, I would be able to play with Gladiator or Venom. Like, otherwise, they really do answer the node and the defender. It's just the tactic is making it like almost impossible to not bring a tactic attacker. And so that's what I kind of liked about what I felt like I was reading in the tactic for this one with Coda and Genesis was, it'll be nice and give a little oomph to some attackers or potentially some defenders, but it's not so, burdensome's not the right word, restrictive maybe, that you have to bring a tactic attacker. So again, I'm not like really countering what you're saying as much as I'm saying, like, I'm wondering if, and we don't know because they don't say it, so I'm just reading into things. I wonder if Kabam is like, we get that, and we're no longer trying to do that thing we said a couple years ago. It didn't work. Let's go this other
I agree
way.
with you, actually. It always left a bitter taste in your mouth after doing a rank up, which was, I think it was my first. You good? Your screen's gone on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm using this as a chance to switch over to the CCP server so I can.
Perfect. Yes. So
yeah.
I think it was my first 6-star rank. No, my second 6-star rank 3 was Red Goblin because we needed one for defense because he was good on that tactic. And then the season finished, and it was like, okay, now you have a Red Goblin. Well done. My first, or one of my very early 6-star rank 4s was Super Scroll because he was good on that tactic. And now I have a 6-star rank 5 ascended Super Scroll because he's good or was good for a tactic.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it is an interesting one, and you can absolutely argue it both ways and be correct both ways.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to rank up someone, like if I see, say, Rintra is on the defensive tactic, he's not on this one, but if he was, I'd love a Rintra. I'd love to rank up my Rintra. And that would be, I get to rank up a good champion, I get to rank up a champion I like, and their tactic. This is great.
Yeah.
It's a tough one. There is no right answer.
Yeah, and I think this is part of like the iteration process, if we less the term. You know, you try something and you see how it plays out, and maybe it slices a way that you weren't intending, you know? It also could just be as simple as they're like, hey, we just made the map a lot harder. Let's make the tactic a little more forgiving. And then they go right back to it. And
I could absolutely... Yeah. I think that is a little bit how Kabam works. They ramp up the tactic season on season, whether intentionally or by accident, but that is what has happened.
Yeah.
Remember, because we had Crush 2.0 a couple of seasons ago, and that was rough. But now we're back to Decay, but that's only because people voted for it, so that's a bit different. But
is Crush the one that made me actually finally just be like, I'm done? I think it is.
That was the Daunted and Rooted one.
Oh, yeah.
That was... oof.
I was like, I'm literally spending too much time to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, no one's making me play tier 1, except for my wife. She's always like, you need to play that game more. What's up, BK? How you doing, bud? Justin, what's up, dude? Matt, what's up? I can see Kushala being permaban. Matt, don't let it happen, man. You've got that kind of power.
Yeah, leave her open so people can use... No, not so people... So she won't be permabanned. Yes. That's where we were going with that.
Oh, I'm sad now.
I don't think my wife has ever told me to go play more game.
Yeah, that's... The only way that happens is if your wife is also enjoys games, I believe. Is I think the only way that could possibly...
I had a message from my wife earlier, because she's out this evening, saying, can you go on my Animal Crossing and sell my turnips, please?
See, there you go. And
I went on her Animal Crossing and sold her turnips.
Good man. There you go. Oh man. Let's see here.
Anything that reduces the opponent's combat power rate? If only there was a great spreadsheet for
I know
which relics to attack to which champions. That would be helpful.
And if those people had just literally gone over tech and the guy was about to record when the stream's over. I know almost nothing about Zola. I watched a couple of the videos from the
So the long and short of it is you get them in the corner with as little power as possible. He can passively, on his specials, lock out the opponent from throwing either their special 1 or special 2. So you get them in the corner with no power, and you drop heavy after heavy after heavy, because all of the hits on the heavies place a very short but potent disintegration, which leads into my theory that I give it 3 months and we'll see a disintegration immune champion. Yeah. So I think also one of the war nodes had disintegration on it as well.
And that'll reside in the cosmic class, yeah?
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
They'll probably be able to parry non-contact attacks. Well, someone that can... Oh, and they'll be sleep immune, just so they're a complete Zola counter. But, yeah, but every time you hit the opponent, you pause them. So they just sit there, and they absolutely tick and tick and tick. And when you can stack them up, oh my, can you stack them up. I think MSD had them dropping... He dropped Necropolis Jubilee, who does give you a damage boost on heavies, admittedly, if you get her in the right phase. I think he dropped her in about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is insane DPS. He benefits a lot from Mr. Fantastic pre-fights, not only because that'll increase the damage of your disintegrations, but also it'll reduce the opponent's combat power rate, so you can spam even more. Same thing for Collar Tech. So yeah, the more you can spam, the better. If there was a champion, which champion can do the most damage to an opponent that is permanently stunned, he would be up there. Or actually, if you're both power locked as well, he'd do very well there. Also, no Incinerates from Bishop now. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's
a huge piece of utility. I love the fact that his ability accuracy is not tied to like only against mutants or not against cosmics. It's always the same.
Yeah, when it's interesting to even just see that. Like Shuri has Shuri has a lot of clauses like that that are unique to see at all. Part of why I think she's so powerful. So I'm just gonna kind of play him. No, in all seriousness, I have not played him at all. I did watch MSD's video and Lags, but it's a whole different thing, as you all know, to actually play them.
So you gain your ESP charges every time you get hit, and you gain 3 when you block something. When you get to 20, when they hit your block, you will put them to sleep passively. So it's a better version of stun. He's being stingy with that special too. There we go. So if you block a couple of attacks, there you go, one more.
Oh, you gotta throw the special 1 to get the lock, though.
Exactly. Ah, yeah, so the incinerates are incoming now. So the special 1 also gives you the energized passives. Nice. He's also got massive heavy range on that first hit.
Yeah.
Like onslaught grade heavy range. So yeah, so that'll help you get to your special 2. When the special 2 is nice and long, so it keeps everything paused. Again, like onslaught and his special 2. But when awakened, when you finish a special, and it removes all the disintegration debuffs, they also do a big burst of damage. Here you go. Stack them up, stack them up. So every single one is doing about 250 per tick, so 500 damage per second per disintegration. 50 disintegrations at 500 damage per second each. It's a lot of damage.
I mean, that feels ridiculous.
I think a lot of people think the same.
Oh, yeah, Mr. B, this is CCP server. 1 zillion damage. I like that. Yeah, the Wi-Fi. When I saw the Wi-Fi thing, I was like, such a kabam move. They don't even, do they still do that where they're like, you appear to not have, like, I got Wi-Fi, dude. It's your game. So, Boris, what I think it's... I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to what's actually happening. We will almost certainly die early, and that's fine.
So don't forget to use the pre-fight. Yeah, you've got to use it every single fight, which is a bit rubbish. If you don't use either of them, it inflicts a pretty chunky cowardice. Instead, let me go find out how much. 30% cowardice, but as a defender, it's a 90% cowardice. So against this guy, your special attacks aren't doing any damage, really. I think that was designed to be like a Hulkling counter, but we will see. So keep him in the corner, bait that special 2. 1 combo into Striker, maybe? See, yeah. So he really benefits against champions where their specials don't move them around much. If you think about Bishop's like special 2s, he just sort of takes a step forward, but you can still punish it. If you think about someone like Guardian special 1, he's all over the place.
Yeah.
If you think about someone like Groot special 1, they just kind of stand there.
Yeah. So this might be one of those things where it's like animations.
Yeah.
Because this is the bigger bishop. I forgot to check how much health he's got. I'm guessing somewhere between 5 and 700,000.
Bang on.
With 1 loop that was very... I mean, you guys saw that. We've already taken off 36% of his health. We're not awakened. I don't know what the awakened ability does.
There's a bit of extra damage, but it's not enough to really care about, plus some utility.
And this guy's enough of a defender to like... And is all his stuff passives?
No, so it's debuffs for his disintegrations.
Okay, that's right. They're just really short, if I saw. I can see why opinions on him are really
He is somewhere, in my opinion, between. He's a tech version of halfway between Onslaught and Tigra. And that is not a bad place to be.
Do you think he's that powerful, though? Like, I mean, those are both, like, if Tigra was a 7-star, she'd be in the highest tier of my rankings. I know yours are a little bit different, and I'm not.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I don't have yours memorized. And if an Onslaught is, like, I think he is the highest, if not him and Sinister are pretty close, but the highest rated mutant in the game.
Yeah.
Like, do you think he's of that value level?
I don't think he is Onslaught caliber in the game. I would say he's already looking at top 10 tech already. But for just taking this one fight, for example, his utility to lock the opponent out of special attacks is ludicrous. You need an Incinerate immune versus Bishop. That's kind of something that's fairly well discussed. Not if you're using Zola. You don't need an Incinerate because he just will never throw that special one. If you are running Collar Tech, you'd be able to gain... So, because you can spam more heavies because they've got future... not future, sorry. They've got reduced combat power rate. So yeah, here you go for special 2. And you just watch his health absolutely melting down. If you had been awakened at max 6, you probably would have gone a 50k burst on the end of that special 2. So the burst damage is nice, but it's not ludicrous. But, if we're just zooming through his kit, he is immune to ability accuracy modification and combat power rate modification, as well as bleed and poison. You can't... So the critical penetration of opponents is reduced by 80%, so crits into blocks just aren't going to hurt. He's got a built-in 10% safeguard, apart from special 3s. He's got non-contact medium and L1s. He can lock the opponent out of multiple special attacks. He can sleep the opponent, which is a better version of stun, and is passive, though if you knock down, he will lose some charges. He's got insane damage when you're heavy spamming with him. You get Furies and Energizers on the special 1. The special 2 is nice and long. The special 3, by the way, will heal him to full. So he's got an inbuilt Sentinel special 3, and you can use it multiple times. It takes longer and longer and longer to max heal him each time, but he can always do it. It'll take him 20 seconds the first time, then 60 seconds, and then so on, so it triples each time. But, he's really, really good. He's gone blockable against sleeping opponents on his SIG, and he can have Psychic Shielding when awakened. He's got burst damage. Red, as you've been saying, red damage at the moment is more important than yellow damage.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't... Yeah, I didn't... I didn't happen to just pick, like, his best matchup there, did I? Or
I don't think so, no. Like, he's a robot as well, so you can beat Mr. Sinister.
Okay, so this is interesting too. Like, I got a little lucky there that Bishop didn't, and I recall Lags pointing this out, and I complimented him on it. He's like, I didn't want to show a few things where I went super aggressive like I just did on stream. He's like, and it worked. Like, because the defender could have punished me and it didn't. I got a little lucky or whatever you want to call it. And I did that just now and it did work. But there was a couple moments where I was like, it'd be cool as if he went unblockable. And here it is. Striking a sleeping opponent grants Zola an unblockable. So that will allow you, I think... take it like you can almost like wake up intercept the opponent. Is that, you understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah, 100%. So I think the idea with that is that if you get to your 20 charges, you bait the special 1 out of the opponent, you right in their corner, charge in, tap them with 1 medium attack to keep their power really, really low, and then parry them. That will then sleep them because of your charges, and now you can just spam heavies in the corner. They've got no power, they're power locked because you throw special 1. But also if you're going unblockable for half an hour, oh no, they've got unblockable, they've got this, they've got... No, they don't. You're unblockable. You win. It also completely negates stand your ground, in theory.
Yeah, it would only be Mole Man, right?
Oh, in theory.
Yeah, you're not using against Mole Man anyways, so...
Yeah.
He's not good against Onslaught, though, right?
He is metal, so you'd have that issue, but you're dealing disintegration debuffs, which I don't believe would ramp Onslaught. I wouldn't think from a meta perspective Kabam would design a character that would do that to Onslaught right now. If there were shots, I just don't see that design space being in. I think Disintegration deals direct damage, not energy damage. Which also means you can bypass things like Bishop's energy resistance.
What's up, Agent X? How you doing? Hayden just sold the whole Paragon Gauntlet with Photon. She's an immediate ring 4. Oh, dude, absolutely. She's one of the like top options for sure. Big agree. Glad you're having fun with her, dude. She's awesome.
This is where I'd put my Photon if I had one.
And the reason why the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights were helpful was because it helped lower... Like, we're not even expecting to collar tech.
Yep. So, collar tech and Fantastic pre-fights means more disintegration damage from his damage over time one. But also things like it reduces their combat power rate to more heavies. So it's more and more.
In case you can't see it on my face, I did not want to like this guy this much. And we've done like 3 fights. Like, there's so much more testing to do, but he's at least powerful.
Yeah, it also, I'm just reading over his abilities on my other screen. It specifies that Disintegration debuff deals X direct damage. It doesn't say it's a fixed amount of his base kit, for example. So things like boosts and recoils.
Yeah. So that's what I was just thinking, dude, is with his heal...
Wait, he's bleed poison immune as well.
Yeah, you could just run in.
Yeah.
I would not say like, hey, go into a battleground match and just throw your heavy over and over, but I mean...
See what happens. So that concussion doesn't do anything. It's there, but it doesn't do anything. There's your sleep.
I forgot to pick the pre-fight, so I just kind of wanted to show people what it looks like.
But there's very little Mr. Sinister can do in this fight. Yes, he can regenerate, but your main damage isn't coming from your crits, it's coming from your damage over time. And he's being very stingy with the special too. There's the big cowardice coming in, so he took a little bit of damage, but not really. His main problem is that he's a robot, so no willpower, but I mean, he's got a full heal on his special 3, I think we'll cope.
I think that medium just crit for 10,000.
He's got a Fury on his special 1, which isn't huge, but what are we looking at? It's a 25% Fury, I think. But, oh, interesting. So it's for 4 seconds, paused until the start of Zola's next special attack, which means it's permanent, if you want it. So something like, he's a Caustic Temper counter, for example, because he's got Fury and Poison immunity. So he could actually be a good answer for people, for very, very new players struggling against 622 Sinister.
I want to see
why it wouldn't work that fine.
I want to see how much damage this does. And how much it heals us for.
Oh, here's your entire health pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's 100% heal over 20 seconds. Lost if you're stunned. But unlike Sentinel, you can throw it over and over and over again. Oh, sorry, it's 100% of missing health over 20 seconds. My apologies. But yeah, for each time the special attack has been used previously in the quest, these effects' base durations are tripled. Zola's anti-exponential algorithms won't let this increase more than 3 times. So you can throw it multiple times, but it's going to be taking 27 times longer, which means it's not going to be healing you for much. But even then, people, said Superior Iron Man's healing isn't that impactful, but when it stacks up, it can really get going. But imagine just having this little healing, which is basically, it's about double willpower, I think, if it's its entire health pool over 20... no, it's 27 times longer than 200. Yeah, so just sort of ticking away in the background. You've got half willpower just going for most of the fight. That's not bad. I don't know if he has war uses, but I expect to see him in a lot of Battlegrounds decks.
Yeah, absolutely. $557,000 for the Sinister.
So I think we probably want to try and get him into his corner, bait the special 2, counter with your special 1, and go from there. because Mr. Sinister Special 2 doesn't move him around too much. Maybe you want to bait his Special 1 now as well.
No?
You can't now, you've locked him out of it. So if you'd baited his Special 1, see, yeah. So I think the great thing about him as well is he's sort of this champion that's a bit of a weird to get into the right place. But once he's there, here comes all of that damage ticking away. It's not like a champion where you've got to stop and start again. He's designed such that once you bait the Special 2 out of the opponent, you can kind of just go for it again. Because that Special 1 lock is so long. It does rely on Mr. Sinister actually throwing his specials. You've also got those nice long passive disintegrations on his Special 2, just in case debuffs aren't working for some reason. Nice catch.
Huh. I'm getting a call, but I think I can take that later. But it is a sign I should probably get going. He's definitely the best the best tech champion with a face on his chest. I think that is. I feel pretty comfortable with that. He feels really safe to use too. I mean, you were saying like the crit penetration stuff, right? Like,
yeah, he's a tanky boy.
I don't think I played him properly there against that Sinister, although I did notice Sinister healing back a fair amount. He doesn't happen to have a synergy that gives him a heal block, does he? Because that would just be insane.
Not that I know of.
Lax called out this
That's
synergy.
Fascinating synergy with Mr. Sinister.
Now, because you're going to do more damage over time, right?
Yeah, so you'll do. So you're down to 80% damage, but so it'll be 120% of his base rather than the 100 that he normally does. But I'm wondering if actually that's slightly a misnomer, because without running a full janky team that someone should make a video about, you can normally get 2 sets of pauses off with his regular so you throw the Special 1, you parry, you charge that twice, then you parry again and charge that twice, assuming everything goes to plan. This would let you get a third one in, so actually you get 6 charges rather than 4. Suppose that would be a 50% damage bump rather than a 20% damage bump.
This is an interesting champion. I'm not gonna. I'm. I don't know what to think on him yet. I know he's not bad, that's for sure. I don't think the game has need to have champions anymore. I think that those days are long over. He definitely does appear to be at least a good defender, Justin. I think stun immunity is going to make him a lot worse. I think that's the intention here. There's still a stun immune node in AW or no? And now I'm realizing I don't remember if I saw it.
Boss?
Oh boy, have fun.
That, I believe, is the only stun immune node, though.
Yeah.
Unless you encounter something like Stunning Reflection.
This is interesting, dude. I gotta play him a lot more. That's like, there's too many moving. I don't know if it's moving part. There's too much for me to feel confident. I have an idea on how good he is, but I feel confident he's not bad. I feel extra confident he is not bad, and I feel extra confident that there are going to be times where he does a lot of damage, even in short fights. It's not just like a ramp up thing.
Yeah, my prediction is that he will become a staple of Battlegrounds decks for defense because he's annoying, where most people look at him a bit like Nova, where it's I can take the fight with him if I require, but he will also get a cult following a bit like Tigra does, or someone like Elsa does, I will wreck anything you put in front of me with this champion.
I think I see that. That's why I don't want to go too far on anything because I haven't played him enough, is the spacing and, like you said, the animations and whatnot. Matt saying there's an extra stun reflect nodes. Mohammed, what's up, Vegan? I got 180 revives for Epoch of Pain. Is it good for exploration or I need more? You know, bud, we just don't know yet. Here's what I'll say. The Ares, it's basically what Hayden just wrote. Ares sounds terrifying to me too. I do think I'm going to stream it because I think it will be fun to stream. I think it's going to be painful. Like, I think Ares is going to be brutally painful. Way worse than Necropolis Grandmaster. And so anytime I get the question of like, how many items do I need or revives or whatever, I always get I'm very hesitant to answer those questions. Because, it's one thing if you're like, oh, well, I ran out of revives, I'll just go buy some units. It's another thing if like you're a free-to-play player or those sorts of things, because you can't just do that. But I know how we are as people is we're like, well, I've already committed, I've already spent all these items. So like, I hope 180 is plenty, dude. But I don't know. I think Ares is going to be brutal. Take a shot every time Ares kills your entire dude. We ain't got that much alcohol. All right. Huge thank you to MCoC Encyclopedia for coming on, dropping a lot of just general game knowledge on top of the war knowledge. Thanks for being on, buddy. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
I actually am not able to go join. I'll try to. I'll see if I can. But like I said, I just got that call. And so I don't know what it was necessarily about. If you can, though, go raid Trappy. Find him hysterical, really smart player. And if you can do Vega raid, I would appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all hanging out. We got videos coming for you this weekend. We got the next edition of the Relics. And then some champions I think everyone's going to be at least interested to know is, are they actually good as 7-stars? I'll be doing my best to show you what I think on them as we head into next week. And then the Epoch of Pain. Thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. Take care.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, thanks. I forgot to do that. Take us out. All right, everyone. Take care, everybody.